What's up, everyone? Welcome back to BO3 Gaming. It's me, Christian, again, and in this video I'm going to do something a little different. This is my gameplay running in the background, but I thought in this video I'd maybe tell you about myself, considering I haven't really done that. I kind of did it in the very first video I did, but not much more than that. So, to start off, I mean, pretty average life, pretty normal. I mean, I'm not like some crazy person that goes out and does all kinds of crazy stuff. I live in New Mexico. I live in Roswell, New Mexico as of now. I was born in Roswell, New Mexico. Lived there for like X amount of years. Then moved to Dexter for X amount of years. And now I'm back here and I'm 20 years old. So pretty cool. I'll be 21 on the 29th of this month, which is, if you're watching it on the day this comes out, 11 days. Looking at the calendar, not 11, 10 days. Wow, 10 days from when this comes out. And I'll be 21. I can buy cigarettes legally. It's for you, Josh. And so, like, I kind of wanted to start, I wanted to start a playlist of videos kind of thing where I maybe just tell stories kind of thing like that. And let you guys in on, like, stuff that happens sort of thing. And in this video in particular, I'm probably going to go on a deep storytelling spree right now, and it'll probably get kind of dark, but and not for like a reason that you might be thinking, like I didn't like want to kill myself or anything like that. But yeah, so I mean, I just want to let you guys know that before I just start talking about it, and I don't want to like throw anybody off. But so I'm 20 years old, and in 2009 I would have been 13, I think. I think I was 13 in 2009. Well, yeah, 13, or just like turned 13 in 2009. And in August, I went to the first day of school for freshman year, which was freshman orientation. It was like August 11th or something like that, kind of weird day. And that day, I went to the doctor and had a MRI done and everything like that, and they found that I had a skull-based tumor, like, in this general area, and so yeah, and I mean, like I said, it's gonna get, like, it sounds a lot worse than what it really was, and so that was found on orientation day, and so that was like the only day of freshman year I went to. So I did 2 freshman years basically, one that I didn't go to, one that I actually went to, and which totally worked out for the better. I'll tell you about that later in the story. But so yeah, a skull-based tumor, and like that was just kind of like a whole crap show kind of thing, like having to deal with all that and everything like that. But like how my family is and stuff like that, like we weren't afraid of it or anything like that. Like we weren't worried really. It was more just like, well, crap kind of thing. So that happened. That was 2009, August, and in I think November. No, it might have been August or September. I can't remember the dates. It was 6+ years ago, or almost 7, I think. I don't know. And anyway, it was so long ago, and I had to do 8 rounds of chemotherapy, which was like, it sucked, but it wasn't like super terrible. I mean, like, for those of you who don't know, chemotherapy, that's like the medicine that, like, when you do it and you have cancer, like you go bald and everything. So I lost my luscious locks for a little bit. But, you know, I mean, after a while, it sucked, but it wasn't, like, the worst thing that ever happened to me. So, I mean, it wasn't, like, terrible. But, so, I think I did, like, 8 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds, something like that. Again, I'm not good with the numbers. But, so, I did that, and then, like, a round of chemo, for me, anyway, I don't know if it's always, like, because I think you can take it, like, through pill or injection or through what I was doing, which I don't know if it considered an injection. But, anyway, what I did for a round of chemo was I would go to the hospital for 8 hours one day and sit in a room with a like drip bag hooked up to me and I had a port in my arm, and I would do 8 hours there, and then they would take the drip bag off and put a pump onto my arm, which I had to carry around me in like this little like fanny bag looking thing, and it kind of sucked. It sucked just because I had to carry around the stupid bag all the time. But so that was that, and then I did like 6 to 8 rounds of that. I can't remember. And so, yeah, it was 8 hours one day, and then you had to wear that bag for a week, and then you go back, and then you get it off, and then you're off of it for I think I was like 2 weeks. So we would come back home. Also, a big part of the story I forgot to mention, the place that I went to was MD Anderson in Houston, Texas. I almost said something totally different. In Houston, Texas, and like super cool place. All the doctors are like really great and everything like that. All the people, I've never had like a bad day. I've had bad days there, but I've never had like bad experiences. Well, I've had bad experiences there too, I guess. I've never had like bad interactions with anyone. Like I've never like been mad at anyone there. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, where was I at? Oh, and like I think they're rated like #1 for cancer treatment or something like that. So I mean that's pretty dope to have them doing your crap for you. But yeah, so 6 to 8 rounds of that, and like you lose your hair and stuff like that because of the placement too. Like I had like no taste for that whole time, for like that whole like 2 months or something like that. So just imagine eating whatever you like and replace it with eating like tofu basically, because tofu tastes like crap. And so I had to go through that, which I mean it wasn't terrible because I mean like it wasn't. I keep saying it because it really wasn't. It wasn't the worst thing to go through. What I had to go through next kind of sucked. But so yeah, I mean, not being able to taste food kind of crappy, but that really didn't kick in for a whole lot of time. Like that whole week that I had the pump on, yeah, I could feel it. And then once I got it off, like 2 days later, I was fine. And like I could eat whatever, do whatever kind of thing like that. Didn't really matter. And it was kind of just those short bursts of time kind of thing. But so I did that whole time. I did that whole time on chemo and everything like that. And then after chemo, I had to do radiation. And I have a mask thing that I could have brought, but I didn't think about it. I didn't really plan this video out. And the radiation is kind of sketchy looking and just sketchy to do in general. But so what happens is, I'm like so stopped up. Okay. Okay, so what happens is, in radiation, you have to go and get this like mesh mask thing made, and it like covers your face, or at least for me, it covers like my whole face and like down to the bottom or top part of my like torso kind of thing. And they literally like snap you into this table, and you can't move. It like holds you down and stuff like that, so that they can like pinpoint, like shoot the radiation stuff into your face and whatnot. And so that was a whole experience in itself. And at the time, because of the like where this whole thing was going on at, I could only open my mouth like that. Like if I tried to eat anything, it was like this little kind of thing, super sucky. And so what was worse was when you did the radiation stuff, they made a stent for your mouth so it could hold, or for me anyway, so I could so I could hold my mouth open. But the thing was is that the stent was this big and I could only open my mouth this wide. So like I had to freaking like, you know, shove that thing into my mouth, and it hurt like a mofo. And there were a couple days where like I would tear up, and the lady was like, "Oh, don't cry, it's okay." And I was like, "I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm just crying because my mouth hurts like freaking crap right now." And so that was like a whole situation. And then within like a whole radiation treatment thing took maybe 45 minutes to an hour, I think anyway. I don't know. I fell asleep half the time. And yeah, I mean, you basically just lay on this table and you go into a machine and they scan you, and then they spin you around. It's kind of cool. And then I keep hitting the mic, and then they scan you again on another thing. And it's crazy because if you have your eyes closed when you get scanned, you can like see colors and stuff, and it's really trippy. There was this guy there that was like, yeah, everybody has their own different color kind of thing. So cool, like rainbow light show thing going on in your head when you're getting radiation. So try that out sometime. And radiation isn't like super terrible. I mean, nothing, you don't have to like get anything stuck into you like needle wise, so it's not like super terrible to go through, but it sucks to go through. So like for radiation, they had to shoot like this side of my face because it's where the tumor was. And like the first, I don't know, like month of it or something like that, because I was only there, I think from like beginning to end, I was only there for 4 months, August, September, October, November, December, 5 months maybe, I don't know. If even that, because there was like a whole time where I was doing like the whole 2-week thing. So it was probably even less than that, like maybe 3 months there. And basically what happens is radiation, unlike chemo like takes your hair out, like knocks your blood cells and makes like kind of struggle to eat, but I mean, it wasn't like super terrible. Like, it didn't affect me like hardly at all. Like, I mean, lost my hair, but it's whatever. I don't really care about that stuff. Obviously, you can grow it all back, but yo, radiation will like jack you up in the royalest of ways, man. Like, I had the worst scarring right here for I have no idea, for like the longest time too, because of my mask. I had this piece of tape that ran down my mask, like right here. So I had this like tan line right here, looked kind of dope, but it was kind of just awkward to see on someone. So anyway, radiation like scars wherever it shoots and crap like that. So it was just super scar tissue and all kinds of nasty junkness right there. And I mean, it sucked. Like, I couldn't turn my head. Like, I couldn't sleep on that side because it would rub it and get all jacky and yeah. And it was funny because one day we went in to see the doctor one time, like for a visit kind of checkup thing, and he was like super touchy-feely and would like rub in spots where like the tumor was supposed to be, and like right there it was all like super tender scar tissue and crap like that. And he walks in and like, let's see where this is, and immediately just like all up on that stuff, and it hurt like a mofo. And cried a little bit, but I sucked it up and took it like a man. And then I cried later. And so anyway, I did radiation. I think it was like 36 rounds. And so around radiation is you go in every freaking day, except for like the weekends and holidays, I think. So for that whole period, like we were in Houston like the entire time. Also, shout out to like my cousins and stuff that we stayed with, because like that was lifesaver right there. We have family in Houston. We stayed with them. I didn't have to pay for a hotel for a whole like half a year. And so that was cool. Like, anyway, with the whole radiation thing, it didn't really affect me until like the last. Well, I mean, it affected me the entire time, but I didn't really like let it like get a grip or anything like that until like the last, I don't know, say 2-3 weeks of it or something like that. And this is how I know, because like I used to like super like dig going bowling and stuff like that. Like I was like way into it and whatnot. Like I'd go bowling every freaking day if I could. And so while we were there, every now and then they would be like, hey, you want to go bowling? And I was like, shoot, yeah, I want to go bowling. Let's go bowling. And so we'd go bowling every now and then. And one day came like closer to the end of the whole treatment thing, and they were like, you want to go bowling? And I was like, screw bowling. Bowling's stupid. And I didn't go bowling. And that was the day that everybody was like, oh, he's jacked up because he doesn't want to go bowling or something. So yeah, bowling, it makes me like feel bad every time I think about it. Not so much like in like a, oh, it's so sad kind of thing, more of just like a freaking cancer sucks kind of way. And so I actually finished my last round of radiation was on, I believe it was New Year's Eve, I think, which was December 31st, and then like I was done right there. So it was kind of cool at the beginning of the new year. Thing is though, is that like cancer treatment and crap like that carries on for another 6 months plus afterwards in freaking remission. So I didn't eat like a solid meal until March of that next year, which kind of, however, you want to lose about 60-70 pounds in a couple months, get some radiation and chemo done, you'll drop weight like a mofo and that stuff. And so like I would like from 230 to like 160 in no time, and gained it all back though, sadly. And like for that whole first part of that year, like I was on chicken broth and chicken noodle soup and any kind of liquidy crap that I could get my hands on that I could eat. And so yeah, I mean, kind of sucked, but it wasn't like super terrible kind of thing. Also, during this whole thing, I got my wisdom teeth out. That whole experience was probably like 60 times worse than the whole like cancer thing. So, yeah. And like, if you ever had your wisdom teeth out, like, screw that. Like, and I didn't get the whole like happy gas thing. I just got straight up anesthesia, knocked out kind of thing. And I went into a room and then went out of a room like that and had no teeth, but I had like crap ton of stitches in my mouth, and that shiznits hurt like crap. And so that whole section of my life right there, really it was a blur. Like I remember it, but I don't remember like I remember it, but I don't remember like a whole lot of it, if that makes sense. Like I remember bits and pieces of it, like what I'm telling you right now, but I can't be like, oh yeah, I remember da 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 da, because I just don't. Like it was, I could care less about remembering all that crap. And I mean, like great story to tell to people, especially like girls and stuff. Girls love a good cancer survivor story. I don't know what it is about it. But, so, I mean, like, it's good with the ladies and everything. So, that whole story right there, like, I mean, it changed me in a way where, like, well, I wouldn't say it changed me. I mean, yeah, it changed me. I mean, I grew up a lot in that whole time just because of the experience and stuff and whatnot. And I mean, like, some of the people that I met there were, like, freaking awesome. I met some people from, like, India and Pakistan and China and all kinds of crap. And I'm talking, like, other patients, not just nurses and whatnot. Nurses there from flipping everywhere. Like, I'm pretty sure there was someone from, like, Antarctica or some crap like that up there. And, but I mean, I've met people from all over the world through this experience. Kind of a sucky way to meet someone all over the world, but I mean, because of that, but I mean, get what you get kind of thing. And, like, for other people that might get cancer or might be, like, going through the whole thing, I mean, if you look at it, yeah, it sucks to go through, but I mean, that's like as low as you're gonna get, really. I mean, once you're cured, then, or once you're better, assuming you get better, like, hopefully, then, I mean, it's all just working back uphill. Like, I have no, like, zero side effect. Well, I mean, kind of deaf in this year, but I mean, other than that, no side effects. So, I mean, good story, or good, like, thing for me. Uh-oh, my gameplays ran out. So that'll be, I only had 2 really good ones from earlier today, so I'll just use those 2. But if you like this and you maybe want to hear more details, like I don't even think I told you what I had and stuff like that, but I'll leave that for another video. Maybe I'll do a 2-parter of this video kind of thing. Whoops, I started it over. I'll fill you in more on that kind of stuff. Let me know. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, if you haven't yet, sub to the channel. That'd be thumbs up for that. If you haven't yet, also, thumbs up this video, because that's a double thumbs up for that. Thumb. And then, yeah. Check out my other videos. Go back to my first video, too. I think it's got, like, the most views on my channel so far. And it just kind of tells you, like, what we are going to be doing with this thing. Also, now my brother's in school, so probably even less of him now than I thought there would be. So this is really starting to turn into Breaker Bro Gaming instead of Breaker Bros, because he hasn't been in it. But hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll be getting some other people in here to do some gameplays with me and stuff like that. And just jacking around. Probably going to do some more MLB stuff. And I don't know. I don't know what else will be to come for these next few times. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you stuck around this long, like I said before, sub, like, comment, whatever. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Toodaloo.